What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's the Prepper Dad, and today I want to do something a little bit differently than the subscribers who I've had for a while, and I genuinely thank you guys because I feel that we're at least 80% of like mind when we want to prepare and we see the things going on in the world. But I also have a I don't want to hear your shit attitude when it comes to some of the bullshit that we hear around the news, and that they try to force certain thoughts or certain ideas and agendas and rules towards us. And that came to a head when I posted something, and I made another video about this, but this is my first one, so I got to kind of recap for those new subscribers. I made a video, or I made a post on another social media platform, and instantly was challenged, or basically I was told not to say anything. I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't say those things that I said. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. It was just not. Look, I get it. Some people are going to agree with me, okay? Some people don't. Some think that I'm completely out to left field or out to lunch, whatever, with the tinfoil hat on. I really don't give a shit. Then there's others who will quietly kind of say, okay, I kind of see what you're saying, but I've already made my stand over here, which completely contradicts you over there, so I can't be over there because I'm already over here. Does that make sense? And that's what I like to call people with head up their own asses, or even in the sand, whatever. But I wanted to also include, I'm still gonna have prepping because it's very near and dear to me over the several years. But also what's going on right now is that we are being forced to have certain ideas. That's what I want to bring to you, the viewer, but I also want to back it up with the sources that this is not just my opinion. This is me taking things that I see that is available to all of us, that they're making public, and saying, what is going on here? What is happening? This first thing that I want to talk about is close to me because it deals with children, and as a father, as you know, I'm the prepper dad, so I have a couple children. So my wife and I, we have 2 children, and so when I saw this, it bugged me. It really did. So I'm just gonna read this, but again, in the comments, or maybe the description, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this or whatever works best, but I will have links to the sources, and I will let you, the viewer, kind of come to your own conclusion, ask questions, among your circle, or even comment below. I would love to know what you think in the comments below. But look, I want you guys here for the next one, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That would mean a lot to me. I'm just gonna read a couple things from the sources that are linked right there. This one comes from the Associated Press, from the AP News. New guidance: use drugs, surgery early for obesity in kids. Now, here we are. Here we are as a society. Now, they want to, well, let me just keep reading. Children struggling with obesity should be evaluated and treated early and aggressively, including with medications for kids as young as 12 and surgery for those as young as 13, according to guidelines released Monday. So, you're obese. You have an obese kid. Okay, they're recommending medications. They're recommending surgery. Okay. The long-standing practice of watchful waiting, or delaying treatment to see whether children and teens outgrow or overcome obesity on their own only worsens the problem that affects more than 14.4 million young people in the United States. Left untreated, obesity can lead to lifelong health problems, including high blood pressure, diabetes, or, or like they say on the commercial, diabetes, and depression. So, just so we're clear what we heard and what we didn't hear, it can lead to lifelong health problems if what? If medication isn't given, and if possible, surgery, if needed, isn't done. Okay? Not a damn thing about exercise, about proper diets, none of that. Why? Because there's not money in being healthy. Okay? There's money in relying on medications. There's money in relying on surgeries. Waiting doesn't work. What we see is a continuation of weight gain and the likelihood that they'll have obesity, as adults in adulthood. Now here's the thing that struck me. Let me see. The guidelines aims to reset the inaccuracy view of obesity as a personal problem, maybe a failure of the person's diligence, said this one doctor. You can read it on your own. Medical director for the AAP Institute for Healthy Childhood Weight and co-author of the guidelines. This is not different than you having asthma and now you have an inhaler with you. So you're obese, you're heavy, you don't have an inhaler, you have medications, and you have surgery. Now, they claim obesity is not a lifestyle problem, okay? Obesity is not a lifestyle problem. It is not a lifestyle disease, he said. It is predominantly emerging from biological factors. I call bullshit on this, and I'll tell you why. It's because you see these obese kids, chances are, you look at what examples are being set for them. The examples being set for them come from mom, come from dad. Now, I don't want to say anything negative about anybody, but my guess is they're probably not the healthiest people either. Okay? Your children, our children, my children are going to imitate, or they learn from me. They learn from my wife. Why is that? It's because if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not going to take care of them properly. It is not what he says. It's predominantly from biological factors. That's just like saying if I'm healthy, if I feed my kids the same foods that I eat that are healthy, that somehow they're going to balloon up and turn obese. That is utter false bullshit. Okay? And I have a really hard time with people just lying to us, and you are consuming. Think about this. What you're consuming to eat, to fuel your body, whether it's healthy or bad, those have consequences. It's not biological. It is a choice that you make. Also, the things that you consume online shape your mind, okay? They shape your mind and how you think and how you act and how you respond to certain things. Now, here's another study. And this was a while ago. This is probably like a half a year ago. Is that most parents today say their kids don't spend enough time outside anymore. Now, they are saying that they have to ask their kids or tell their kids to go outside and play. And there's a study on different states and which ones are better and which ones are worse. But I'm not coming out here and saying that my kids don't want to stay indoors. Look, I get it. When we were kids, I'm aging myself. I'm 44. I don't have a problem saying that. But when I was younger, when I was their age, we didn't have the things that, keep us inside. Those came along. Those weren't invented quite yet. And so it was a lot more easy to get us to go outside and play. We had BB guns. We had, we would climb trees. We would, get cut on running through the woods and tripping on a branch or, bikes. Now it's all these different games and apps and things. So I get it. I get it. It is not an excuse. They're setting, or they're seeing the examples that are set by the parents. So if all we do is look at screens, if all we do is sit around, there's a reason that the kids might not go outside, is because we're not going out there to play with them. Why? Is because we're inside doing our thing. We're wasting away. I'm not ignorant to how social media, on how the news, on how everything is addicting, but we're consuming it. And so when we see these things about our kids, is it that hard to imagine that we too, as parents, as adults, have the same responsibility to play, and even more responsibility, because your children are God's greatest gift to you? And how are you setting the examples? What are you doing? Now, when I say you, I'm pointing fingers at me too. Is that what am I doing to make sure that what you are hearing, I'm doing myself? I can't make you guys do anything. I can't tell you guys anything that I haven't considered myself as well, because at the end of the day, I don't want my kids to grow up being dependent on medication or even the thoughts of surgery. That's stupid. This is also on CBS News. Doctors now told to treat childhood obesity aggressively. I'm not gonna read it all because we're already closing up on busy time. But then there's another link that I want you guys to read, because this is a taking care of yourself by health. By fitness and in healthy diets. Now, I'm not talking about a diet like a yo-yo diet. I'm talking about the foods that you eat consistently. That's your diet. I'm just going to read the topic, and then I'll let you read it by clicking the links below. The white supremacist origins of exercise. So if you exercise, just so you know, you're taking part in white supremacy. And 6 other surprising facts about the history of U.S. physical fitness. And they talk about, Richard Simmons and, 9/11. I don't know. I just don't know. But here's what I do know, is that all of these things that I'm going to be talking to you about, that don't have to deal directly with prepping or dehydrating or water storage or ammunition or, security, they are the reasons why I think prepping is so important, because they are fundamentally trying to change our behaviors. They're trying to change the way that we do things. They're trying to rely on them. Okay. And the further we get away from relying on them, the better you are individually, for not only for yourself, but for your family. All right. So with that, be blessed.